All right, now I do trust that you started your week quite well. There's a lot that has been happening in the country when it comes to the political front. President Uhuru Kenyatta is back, and I mean in active politics, until his party officials ask him to step down. That is according to him during the Jubilee NDC that was held today at the Ngong Racecourse. Now, there's been quite a lot of drama in regards to that, and we have the details to that particular story and much more. My name is Brian AMWAI. Our sign language interpreter tonight is Philista Adundo. These are the top stories tonight.
Just go and leave us be in peace.
Tonight on Lookup News, Jubilee Party expels party rebels.
Nitashikilia mpaka wataniambia sasa patiana mwingine.
Uhuru vows to continue leading the Jubilee Party amid pressure. Also tonight, Raila alleges that Ruto wants to remove presidential term limit, issuing new demands. And 8 people accused of stealing toxic sugar freed on bail.
Now, we do welcome you to be part of the program by engaging us on our socials at AMWAI Brian on Twitter, at Lookuptv. The hashtag we're using this evening is Lookup News. Tell us exactly where you are watching us from and what you think about the stories that we are running today, and we'll be able to sample some of your feedback as we continue with the program tonight. We start from the political front. Tonight, the immediate former President Uhuru Kenyatta has announced his decision to remain in politics and continue leading the Jubilee Party. Now, the retired president affirmed he will not be retiring from active politics anytime soon. The former head of state answered his critics, saying he will continue serving in the party until the party officials ask him to step down.
Ngong Racecourse compound was on Monday painted red as the Jubilee Party delegates conveyed at the venue for the party's NDC. The electrified crowd chanting praises for their party leader and the former President Uhuru Kenyatta. This creating a ground for the guest of honor Uhuru Kenyatta to make his political statement.
Munasema ya kwamba imekufa chama chetu, hali nani yako na haja na maiti jameni? Kama imekufa, why are you interested? Si ni maiti jameni. Ukiona wakitafuta ni kwa sababu wanajua Jubilee sio nini? Sio nini? We are very much alive na wataiona.
The outspoken former head of state fired a salvo at the Kenya Kwanza leaders, thwarting them from trying to apply threats and intimidation in order to take control of the Jubilee Party.
Na nilikuwa nafikiria ya kwamba siku ya kuitana mkutano wa National Delegates Conference ingekuwa ile siku ya kwamba mimi ningekuwa nimewaambia wenzangu, sasa mimi nimetimiza ile nimeweza, na sasa ni wakati wa kuchagua viongozi wengine. Lakini wengine wameamua ya kwamba kazi itakuwa ya vitisho na kulazimisha. Siku ya leo nimewaambia tafuteni mwingine, sio Uhuru wa Kenyatta.
Kenyatta stated that he will not retire from his position as the Jubilee Party leader until when the right time knocks, vowing to defend the party to the latter.
Lakini kama unafikiria utatisha hapo ati hoi ikuwe namna hii, na ndio ile siku mimi hata sikuwa nikijua wakati walienda kuvamia kwa ofisi. Mimi wakati nilisikia nikasema hata kama niko peke yangu lazima niende nitetee mali ya wananchi wangu bana. Washukuru wana Kenya watabaka mbali ambao wamejitokeza kona na kona kunitetea wakati wanaona haki haitendeki. I want to say thank you very much.
For the first time, Kenyatta reacted to the invasion at the Kenyatta farm, where hundreds of sheep were stolen, accusing the Kenya Kwanza politicians of being behind the act.
Na tukapatiana uongozi kwa amani jameni. Hadharani mchana. Hata wakati wananitukana mimi nikakaa kimya tu nikasema sawa. Ni haki yao watende yale wanataka. Nikakaa nimekimya. Na yale yametokeza tu matusi, kuiba mbuzi, kuchoma mashamba, yote wakifikiria wanatisha.
Kusema kwamba Mheshimiwa Uhuru Kenyatta astaafu na asahau mambo ya siasa na mimi am older than him. What are you telling me? Haiwezekani.
The Azimio politicians have stated that should Kanini Kega and Sabina Chege go to court to oppose today's declaration, then they will have no any other option than staging demonstration and calling off the bipartisan talks. Reporting for Lookuptv from Nairobi, my name is Shadrack Kareria.
All right, now still on matters Jubilee, Azimio leader Raila Odinga has officially declared that he will lead his supporters for the third round of maandamano if the Otiende Murugura led bipartisan committee fails to agree on the raised issues in 14 days from today. Now, Odinga has further called on the Kenya Kwanza government has called out the Kenya Kwanza government for sidelining certain communities that do not support their ideologies.
Minutes after Jubilee Party leader Uhuru Kenyatta finalized his long-awaited speech, Azimio la Umoja top brass led by Raila Odinga thronged the event, signifying the coalition's unity. Exactly 2 weeks from today's Jubilee NDC, the Azimio chief principal Raila Odinga has declared a more vibrant protest against the Ruto-led regime if the parliamentary bipartisan committee fails on its quest.
Kama yule kamati ya Otiende na yule mwenzake haiwezi kupata suluhisho kwa mambo matatu. Mambo ya gharama ya maisha. Pili, mambo ya sava. Na tatu ni mambo ya vyama ziwe huru. Tutarudi uwanjani.
The former premier has further reiterated on the need for all elected leaders who have gone against the party's constitution to step down and seek re-election.
Kama umeingia biashara ya malaya ya siasa, jiuzulu, ile tikiti ambayo ulipewa, rudi kwa wananchi, uchaguliwe upya. Mimi nilipotoka katika chama changu cha Ford Kenya, kaingia NDP, nilijiuzulu kwa bunge. Nikarudi hapa kwa watu wa Lang'ata, wakanichagulia tena.
The proposed 2023 finance bill has yet again been termed as unnecessary burden to the common mwananchi.
Watu wengi wanalala njaa, hawawezi pata chakula ya kutosha. Watoto hawaendi shule. Vijana wengi hawana ajira. Na ile tu unataka kuweka ushuru hata kwa hewa ile tumepewa bure na Mungu. Ukisikia kinara wangu akisema punda amechoka, utakuja kuelewa hiyo ni kusemaje ukiendelea vile unaendelea.
The Kenya Kwanza government has yet again found it rough after the Azimio brigades faulted them for what Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua calls government shares.
Those who believe Kenya is a limited liability company, wajue that Kenya is for every Kenyan. Haiwezi kuwa ni Gachagua kusema you belong to his company and therefore you get dividends only to watu kama hawa. Mungu amefanya maajabu yake, akawafichua mpaka onekana pengine hata hawakuenda shule properly.
With the culmination of the Jubilee NDC symbolizing the unity in the Azimio coalition, the impact is yet to be felt days after their declaration of no retreat, no surrender in their quest for a just leadership. Samedika, Lookuptv, Nairobi.
Right, still on matters politics, Jubilee Party led by retired President Uhuru Kenyatta on Monday expelled several officials in an effort to redesign a national executive committee controlled by Kenya Kwanza. Now, let me just take that again. Now, during the party's National Delegates Convention held today, the Kenyatta-backed camp removed Kanini Kega, the acting Secretary General, among other officials, as part of changes approved by the Jubilee Party officials.
In a political showdown that unfolded in Ngong Racecourse, a faction led by retired President Uhuru Kenyatta within the Jubilee Party has unleashed a storm of expulsions aiming to reshape the composition of the National Executive Committee.
DJ Low, DJ Low, DJ.
During the Jubilee National Delegates Conference held today, So Kenya Kwanza loyalists ousted in what seems to be the latest scuffle within the former ruling party, with EALA MP Kanini Kega being among 12 officials kicked out of the party. Joshua Kutuny, Naomi Shaban, Jimmy Angwenyi, Kinoti Gatobu, Nelson Zuya, Rachel Nyamai, and Sabina Shege were among members sent packing.
The following positions or the following individuals are the individuals who are holding positions and they have shown that their loyalty is not with us, but with others. 1, Jimmy Angwenyi, Mheshimiwa. 2, Gatovu, Honorable Gatovu, toka Meru. 3, Honorable Naomi Shaban. 4, Honorable Mustet. 5, our chairman, Honorable Nelson Nzuya. 6, Mheshimiwa Joshua Kutuny. 7, Mheshimiwa Mutava Musiemi. 8, Mheshimiwa Kanini Kega. 9, Mheshimiwa Rachel Nyamai. Kijana Advice Mudalo. Rafiki wetu Joel Kibe.
The move comes barely a month after the Kanini Kega-led faction expelled Jubilee Vice Chairman David Murathe and Secretary General Jeremiah Kioni from Jubilee Party. This unexpected twist has intensified the storm brewing within Jubilee Party and cast a shadow over the bipartisan talks between Kenya Kwanza and Azimio coalition. David Alex, Lookuptv.
Right, thank you, David Alex, for that. Away from matters politics, 4 people have lost their lives in a grisly road accident at Isinya, Kajiado County, in a self-involved accident that involved a 40-passenger capacity bus ferrying workers of a flower farm heading towards Kiserian direction from Isinya. Now, in the 7:30 a.m. accident, the bus, which according to eyewitnesses was speeding, lost control and rolled several times, with 4 occupants pronounced dead on the spot, with scores fatally injured. Confirming the incident, Isinya Sub-County Police Commander Patrick Manyasi, who termed the incident as unfortunate, said scores of passengers were critically injured and were rushed to Kajiado Referral Hospital.
Na nikasikia sauti, bado nilikuwa kwa umbali, lakini nikisikia sauti ya kuanguka, na vile nilifika hapa nikaona vile watu walikuwa wanaangamia, angalau watu walikuja tukasaidia.
The driver lost control, then the bus veered off the road and rolled, I believe, several times. So in the process we lost 4 people on the spot, and the rest were injured and they were rushed to several hospitals.
Alikuwa naenda mwendo wa kazi, hata wale wafanyikazi alikuwa amebeba wakaanza kulalamika wakisema apunguze speed, maana hii ni kona, na hakusikia, ndiposa hii basi ka collapse na imeanguka. Nasikia imeua watu wengi, nasikia ni kama 30 wamefariki kwa sasa.
Right now, the Director of Public Prosecution, Nudin Haji, does not meet the constitutional threshold to lead NIS. This is according to civil societies under the umbrella of National Integrity Alliance, who presented a petition at the Public Service Commission seeking the removal of Haji as the DPP for failing to fulfill his mandate as per the Constitution. Ian Kitani now reports.
The civil societies made good their threat, delivering their petition before the Public Service Commission that seeks the removal of the Director of Public Prosecutions, Noordin Haji, from office for gross misconduct.
Guided by Article 158 of the Constitution of Kenya 2010, which sets out the grounds for the removal of Director of Public Prosecutions, and in the interest of the public, we have today submitted a petition to the Public Service Commission to seek the removal of Mr. Noordin Haji as the Director of Public Prosecutions on the grounds of gross misconduct, incompetence, and non-compliance with Chapter 6 of the Constitution on leadership and integrity.
The societies blamed Noordin Haji for failing to discharge his mandate by withdrawing cases despite there being sufficient evidence to prosecute the suspects.
Several instances where the DPP has made various applications to withdraw from prosecution, several active cases in court, including graft-related cases on grounds of insufficient evidence to sustain a prosecution. This is despite the law requiring that the DPP does not initiate prosecutions until and unless he is convicted that the evidence available is admissible and sufficient and presents a reasonable prospect of conviction.
The AG failed to follow the set out guidelines and the decision to charge. He acted against the interest of justice and the public at large, and failed to promote public trust and confidence in the office he holds, contrary to the provisions of Article 73 of the Constitution of Kenya.
While presenting their petition at the offices of the Public Service Commission, the Office of the Directorate of Criminal Investigation was termed by the societies as the biggest stumbling block in the fight against corruption, urging the Public Service Commission to consider their petition. Haji served as the Director of Public Prosecution for 5 years, a period that saw the prosecution of senior individuals for embezzlement of public funds, with cases against key political figures also withdrawn months into Dr. Ruto's administration, who late last week appointed Noordin Haji as the Director of the National Intelligence Service, signaling his return after serving at the agency as the Deputy Director of the Counter-Organized Crime Unit. If their concerns will not be addressed, the lobby groups have insisted at taking other avenues to address their concerns, as Haji is not fit to hold any office.
We'll be presenting our memoranda to the respective committee that will be conducting the vetting, should he proceed for vetting. As we called yesterday, one of our calls was that President Ruto rescinds this nomination and gives us a suitable candidate.
Despite the accusations against his office, Noordin Haji has defended the withdrawal of high-profile cases in the past several months, insisting that the withdrawal must be done so if justified. Ian Keitani, Lookuptv.
That story by Ian Keitani takes us to a first break here on Lookup News. Continue engaging us on our socials at AMWAI Brian on Twitter at Lookuptv. The hashtag is Lookup News. Do tell us where you are watching us from and what you think about the stories that we are running today. We'll be able to sample some of your feedback as we continue the program this night. All right, we take that short break. We'll be back in a moment.
Leo hii ndani ya Lookup TV mambo ni bamba, mambo ni safi. Tumekuja na hela shilingi 1,300 pesa taslima kwa watu wawili kila mmoja, na tukaza kwake shilingi 300,000. Ukipenda kwa kizungu ama kwa kimombo 300,000 shillings kwa watu wawili kila mmoja. Na sivyo tu juu yake niko na bonus ya 50,000 Kenyan shillings. Yes, niko na bonus ya 50,000 Kenyan shillings. Usipopata 300,000 unapata bonus ya 50,000 Kenyan shillings. Usipata rahisi sana, chukua simu yako kwako, enda pale kwa M-Pesa. Ukifika kwa M-Pesa, enda pale kwa Paybill, weka paybill number ya 137171. 137171 account, weka neno ama weka jina Lookup. Yes, weka jina Lookup kama account. Ama ukitisha jamani, weka 99 bob peke yake upate nafasi kuweza kuondoka na hizi hela ndani ya station nambari 1 nchini Kenya. Jamani, hizi pesa ni zako.
Why Malindi. Any idea why the A-list celebrities, politicians choose Malindi as a destination? Is it the sandy, spotless white beaches, the rhythmic, relaxing oceanic waves, or is it the great potential investment opportunity that Malindi has to offer? Dark Balance, we are here with a variety of projects from as low as 99,000 shillings. You get an eighth of an acre with ready title deeds. Book your plot today with only 35,000 shillings and get a free return air ticket. Be the next investor in Malindi with Dark Balance. Call us now on 0740 888 111 or 0740 888 222. Dark Balance. We promise, we deliver. Why wait? 20 Malindi.
Hey darling, are we still on for a coffee date?
I'm waiting for you to come and pick me up.
I should be able to pick you in a few.
It's a coffee yogurt date?
It's not just a yogurt, it's royal coffee yogurt.
Flow with the sweet taste of thick and smooth Royal Fresh coffee yogurt. Royal Fresh, the royal taste of freshness.
Are you a junior secondary school, a college, a TVET institution or a university and you want to advertise your intake? Book now and advertise with us today on both Lookuptv and all our digital platforms. Call us today on 011 0430 158, 011 0430 158 or email us on sales@lookuptv.co.ke.
Right, now thank you so much for staying with us here on Lookup News. Let's continue the program tonight. Embattled Pastor Ezekiel Odero will now have access to all his frozen bank accounts after the 15 days order given to DCI by the court elapsed. Now on Monday, the investigating officer went to the dock and confirmed that all banks had complied and he had no problem with the pastor accessing his church accounts.
So that's, I think, the pith and substance. So I think... kindly confirm, is the interested party anywhere related to this non-compliance? Pastor Ezekiel?
So far, it is the 6th responding to
You've confirmed to this court that you gave the orders to Safaricom.
Yes, Lord.
And what you have come here is that you can confirm conclusively that the banks have complied with all the requirements that you needed.
I confirm, Your Honor.
It is therefore your opinion that they continue not withdrawing the money from those numbers.
That should be the case, Your Honor.
But is there any problem with the bank accounts according to you now? For now, do you have any problem with the bank accounts?
So far, what I can say that the document we sought from the banks, we have the documents, but we are continuing to analyze those documents to confirm whether the allegations were true or not true, Your Honor. Because those documents are voluminous. It may take some days to analyze. But so far, the banks have complied, Your Honor.
And therefore, specifically the number what you need in prayer free, it agrees with M-Pesa numbers. that is very fundamental, because Pastor Ezekiel is bringing in the question of accountability. That not even one account is in his personal name. Not even one property.
All right, to matters finance bill, civil societies organizations have come out to oppose the proposals in the finance bill 2023 and are calling on Parliament to reject the proposals in the bill. Now, the organizations under the umbrella of Okoa Uchumi have raised concerns about the proposals, saying the increase in taxes is punitive to the common people at a time when the country is dealing with a high cost of living. Now, the organization now wants the government to develop a debt renegotiation program.
Best in ensuring there is accountability.
Civil society groups in the country under the umbrella of Okoa Uchumi have warned that the government is here to adequately tackle pilferage and misuse of public resources to warrant an increase in the taxation. The CAOs now want the Finance Committee in the National Assembly to review its expenditure before implementing the new taxation proposals in the Finance Bill 2023. The group says the increase in taxes in the proposed bill is punitive to the common mananchi.
The Finance Bill 2023 risks bleeding Kenyans dry through taxation. The proposed taxation measures are injurious to the Kenyan population. We urge Parliament to reject the proposal on the existing taxes and a strong push for accountability of all revenue collected through taxes or acquired in debt. It is evident that the effects of imprudent fiscal management have dire consequences on the incomes and quality of life.
The CSO argues that the government will gain more in cutting down on expenditures than increasing taxes.
That overtaxing could lead to increased tax avoidance and evasion, and consequently less tax collection. Furthermore, business owners might close down their business due to the heavy taxation, leading to more lost revenue by the government. Imposing more taxes on the already suffering citizenry is punitive for a government that promised to uplift Mananchi at the bottom of the economic pyramid.
The group has objected to the increase of VAT from 8% to 16% and the removal of VAT exemption on the supply of flour, arguing that it will worsen the cost of living.
As an increase of VAT rate on petroleum products from the current 8% to the proposed standard rate of 16% is opposed. We note that an increased rate of VAT on petroleum products would increase the cost of production and worsen the current state of the high cost of living.
Under the excise duty, the coalition has endorsed only 13 out of the 18 proposals.
The first one, the excise duty on mobile phone transfer services to be increased from 12% to 15% of the excisable value. Members oppose this proposed amendment because it may lead to reduced transactions, thus reducing excise duty collection.
The group has threatened to take to the streets should Parliament go ahead and approve the proposals.
We will have a people assembly of all 290 constituencies during the debate and voting on the finance bill and prepare and publish how each MP voted. 4. If the will of the people is subverted, we will commence the process of exercising our powers as the sovereign and commence public actions targeting the executive and parliament across the entire country.
The CSO, however, says a high debt burden and unmet revenue collection need fiscal consolidation and revenue mobilization.
First, the government needs to relook to the conditions imposed by bilateral donors, and in particular those driven by the IMF under the fiscal consolidation program. It must also urgently develop a debt renegotiation program and institute genuine austerity measures that address the high debt stock that is taking up the most of the expenditure on revenue raised.
The objection to some of the proposals comes at a time when the government is adamant about increasing its revenue following unmet revenue targets by KRA.
Right now, KCB RFC defeated Nakuru RFC by 24 points to 10, lifting the trophy of the 38th edition of the Great Rift 10-a-side rugby. Isaac Njoroge's brace, Festus Shiasi and Emmanuel Opondo's tries were enough to cement the win for the Andrew Amonde-led side, as Felix Solana now reports in the Sports Roundup.
KCB RFC amad Nakuru RFC 24 points to 10 clinch the 2023 Great Rift Rugby 10-a-side tournament in a mouth-watering finals held at Nakuru Athletic Club. Isaac Njoroge's brace, Festus Shiasi and Emmanuel Opondo's tries were enough to cement the win for the Andrew Amonde-led side. Njoroge was instrumental in inspiring KCB to glory in the competition, was named the most valuable player of the 30th edition. KCB RFC coach Andrew Amonde is impressed by the result, and they will now shift focus for the national rugby circuits that will begin next month.
I think they've done well. Winning is not something that we just come out and do, because they came out, worked very hard as a team, and they backed themselves, and now they're winners. So it's just a matter of building and making it a habit of winning every time they play. So that's how we build the character and everything that is coming through the hard work they're doing.
It's been amazing. We realized that we are starting a new tournament, and Great Rift has also been good. Being a former player in this land, this was a good run for me, especially being the 30th anniversary. So I think we've performed well. Many are judging us by Kenya Cup and Enterprise, but every tournament counts. So for us, we are pleased to be here to participate, to support Great Rift, and winning this is great for us.
Elsewhere, FKF Nairobi Elite Youth League is getting tight with teams in Nairobi converging at Jamhuri High School. In the under-13 category, Pumwani Sports Academy trying to blame Youth 7 goals to 1. At the same time, Akakoro Academy drew 1-1 against Legacy Football Academy, while Soccer Talent beating Silver Eagles 6 goals to 1. On their side, organizers alluded that the intention is to spot and nurture talents in a tender age.
Ni tuliweza kukaa tukaweza kuchagua zile academies na teams ambazo tumeona kwamba zimeweza kubobea katika kukuza vipaji katika kiwango cha chini. Hiyo ni kutoka umri wa miaka 9 hadi miaka 17. Na hapo tukaweza kusema kwamba ili tuweze tujipange, tuweze kuwa na league ambayo watu watacheza, na hii ni katika kiwango cha under 13, under 15 na under 17. Kwa hizi viwango vitatu tumesema kwamba our top zile team ambazo zile academies ambazo ziko juu kabisa tuweze kuwatengenezea league, alafu tuko pia na grassroots leagues ambazo zinaendelea. Hizi ni teams ambazo pengine haziwezi timu yale malengo ambayo tuko nayo katika elite wanacheza pia katika Nairobi branch. So ile ambacho tunafanya ni kwamba itakuwa top league, alafu tutaweza kudemote na kupromote.
And we are happy that the federation has thought about this kind of initiative because of several reasons. One, we have a wider pool of talent of kids around this county, and what a way to bring them together, and maybe we get the best talent that can even represent the country in the near future.
Instead of just focusing on education, we as parents also should reinvent the wheel on how we talk to our children. Just if your child is talented in football, don't discourage him from football for the purpose of education, but guide him to maintain a balance between the two. Because if he is good in football, encourage him also to be good in education.
Felix Solana, Lookup Sport.
LI forward play, LI forward play, LI.
Right, our sign language interpreter tonight has been Phyllis Dundo. My name is Brian AMWAI. Do have yourselves a lovely night.